So guys, in JJK, you might have noticed that domain expansions are called the pinnacle of Jujutsu sorcery. There is a huge difference between sorcerers who can use domain expansions versus those who can't. So domain expansions are that important for a Jujutsu sorcerer, we can tell, which also defines between a special grade sorcerer and rest of the sorcerers. So in today's video, we are going to explain and rank every domain expansion in the series, and also there will be manga spoilers. So let's get right into the video. And by the way, guys, my name is Rahul, and you guys are watching Anime Manga Atlas. So, guys, at number 14, we have the graveyard domain of smallpox deities, one of Kenjaku's special grade curse spirits. So, in this domain, it practically traps you under a rock in a coffin, and you will be given a 3 seconds timer to escape from that coffin. Otherwise, you will be affected by a smallpox deity's diseases, and then you will be dead within no time. So this domain, in terms of refinement, I think it is very simple and basic, I would say. And it gives you 3 minutes time, so it's not even an instant win con. So that's why I'm placing it at the bottom of the list, the graveyard domain of smallpox deities. Number 13, we have Megumi's Chimera Shadow Garden. So, guys, this domain at its full potential will rank much higher, maybe even in the top 5. But because it isn't completed, I'm rating it at number 13. So, Chimera Shadow Garden is basically Megumi's shadow kind of dimension type, we can say, where he can summon multiple copies of his Shikigami and himself too, and he can even trap you under the shadows where you can't even escape once fully submerged. So this is a very powerful domain, albeit it's still incomplete. So Megumi needs to complete his domain. It can become one of the best domains in the series if completed. Even though it's completed, it's very much better than that graveyard domain. And we've seen Megumi use it already 2 times in the anime also, against that special grade finger bearer, and against in Dagon's domain also he used it. So it's a very good domain, we can say, Megumi's. At number 12, we have Dagon's domain, friends, Horizon of the Captivating Skanda. So in this domain is basically just a beach-like domain. Even saw it in season 1 where all the curse spirits were chilling here, the disaster curse spirits. So it's basically a beach kind of domain expansion where Dagon can summon an endless form of Shikigami that will attack you, and they are not even present until you hit it. So you can't even do anything about that. So this is a very powerful domain, we can say, and it's complete. And Dagon easily overpowered Naobito, Nanami, and Maki. Easily three grade 1 sorcerers easily in his domain. So Dagon is that powerful in his domain. So I'm ranking it at number 12. As at number 11, we have Yuji's domain, which is unknown. Its name is unknown. And we saw his domain in the battle against Sukuna in the final battle. So in the anime, Yuji doesn't even have a curse technique, but in the manga, Yuji is a completely different beast. And we also see his domain. Although it's a basic domain, his barrier techniques are not of the highest order. He just learned the domain expansion. We don't even see how it sure it effect works, so that is kind of a disadvantage for Yuji in this situation. So it seems like it attacks your soul or something like that. I don't know properly because they didn't show in the manga also how Yuji's domain works properly. So that's why I'm ranking it at number 11. Otherwise it would have been somewhat more higher in the list, we can tell. So I'm ranking Yuji's unknown domain at number 11. At number 10, we have Jogo's Coffin of the Iron Mountain. So, Jogo is one of the strongest disaster curses, we can tell, one of the strongest special grade curse spirits. So, in the battle against Gojo, he used this domain, we can tell in the season 1 of the anime, he used it. So, it's basically a volcanic kind of environment. His domain is the Coffin of the Iron Mountain, where he can summon meteors and lava and all of that stuff. Any other average sorcerer or grade 1 sorcerer would have been burned to ash the moment they arrived in Jogo's domain. So it's very powerful, we can tell. And it is, I think it's even very good in terms of barrier techniques also. It got overwhelmed because it was Satoru Gojo's domain. Because of that, it seemed not that good, but it's very good really. So at number 9 we have Higuruma's domain, friends. So Higuruma is a player from the Culling games, and his domain is called Deadly Sentencing, friends. He's basically a lawyer come Jujutsu sorcerer. So it represents a courtroom like environment where no violence is allowed, friends. So you can't attack Higuruma in this domain, and it summons a judgment type Shikigami, friends, behind Higuruma, and he will be given a file of evidence which may or may not be useful, friends, in this case. And the judgment then gives out a verdict that you are guilty or like that. You can deny it or you can stay silent, friends. But if it is proven guilty, then your curse technique will be taken away, friends. And if you get the death penalty, then it's over for you, friends, because Higurumas will be granted a executioner sword, friends, a pure light sword, friends, we can tell. And if it hits you, you are done for, friends. It's a kind of a one shot sword, friends. So Higuruma's domain is very interesting, friends, and one of the best in the series. And he is basically just a sorcerer for just 2 months, and his domain is that good in just 2 months, and he learned it also really fast. At number 8, we have Naoya Zenin's Time Cell Moon Palace, friends. So, Naoya is the son of Naobito, who we saw in the Shibuya incident. So, Naoya is one of the interesting antagonists in the JJK manga, we can tell, friends. And as a human, Naoya didn't unlock his domain, friends. He didn't have a domain. But after he became a curse spirit, after Maki killed him, he unlocked his domain expansion, friends, which takes projection sorcery to a whole different level, friends. So yeah, friends, that's right. Naoya also can use projection sorcery. So in this domain, which looks like a flesh and something like a womb type of thing, friends, and there is an eye in the middle. So it targets your exact self, friends. And the same rules are here also, friends, of the projection sorcery, that you have to move 24 frames per second. If you don't move like that, you will be stuck like that. Here Naoya can target each and every individual cell, friends, if you don't move at that speed. So this is a really crazy domain, we can tell, friends. So that's why it's here. So guys, at number 7 we have Hakari's Idle Death Gamble, friends. So Hakari is a third year at the Jujutsu High Tokyo branch. So Hakari hasn't shown himself in the anime yet. So his appearance is still to be animated. So in the manga, we see Hakari's abilities to its fullest extent, we can tell. So his main abilities is domain expansion, friends, Idle Death Gamble. Similar to Higuruma's, it's kind of interesting, friends. It's a non-lethal domain where there aren't rules that it's a non-violence domain, but in this domain he doesn't get a sure hit effect or like that. Basically it's a pachinko machine, friends, in the Japanese culture. If you say, it's like a gamble machine where if Hakari it's a jackpot, he will get 4 minutes and 11 seconds of immortality, friends. He will get unlimited cursed energy where he is basically immortal, friends, we can tell. So Hakari in that mode is really powerful, friends. His reverse curse technique also is the best in that time limit. So Hakari is a beast in that domain. So that's why he's ranking this high. In the battle against Kashimo, we even saw his fullest extent how lucky is this guy is that he hit three jackpots back to back, friends. So that's why. And Akari's domain is said to be specialized in tug of war, friends. So that's why it ranks this high, because he can't lose many domain clashes. So that's why Akari is ranked this high. At number 6, we have Yorozu's domain, friends, Three Layers of Affliction. So Yorozu is also a reincarnated Culling game player, friends. So very really interesting character in the JJK manga. She acquired Sumiki Fushiguro's body, friends. So that is also a really interesting thing that happened in the JJK manga. And the domain is also really interesting, friends. So her curse technique is basically similar to my friends. It's a construction curse technique. So in this domain, she can create anything, friends, like a violent weapon to all of that, and which can't miss. Like in the manga, she created a perfect spear. It is a spear which produces an endless amount of pressure towards you, and it kind of squashes you underneath it. Even Sukuna had to use Mahoraga to adapt it to avoid risks of getting injured or like that. So even he used Mahoraga so to avoid direct contact for the perfect spear, so that Mahoraga can adapt to that and destroy it. So That's why her domain ranks very high in my list, and her barrier techniques are also really good in my opinion. At number 5, we have Mahito's self embodiment of perfection domain, friends. So, Mahito is one of the best antagonists in the JJK universe, we can tell, friends. So, Mahito's domain, which is basically his curse techniques, extension, idle transfiguration, is an instant win con, friends, because if you enter his domain, it's over for you, friends, because it can directly interact with your soul and you are done for, friends. In normal circumstances, Mahito has to touch you two to three times if you are a grade 1 or higher sorcerer to fully finish you. But in this domain, it's instant, friends. So, because you are in his palm, so his domain is full of hands and you are basically in his palm. And his barrier technique also really impressive, friends. So, that's why it is number 5. Number 4, we have Utah's domain, friends, authentic mutual love. There are other names also, but I have chosen this name. And Yuta, as we know, is one of the best Jujutsu sorcerers in the series, friends. We can tell he's a prodigy, the second Satoru Gojo. And his domain is basically an extension of his copy technique, friends. So, where he can choose any one of his copy techniques to be it a show rate, friends. So, show rate effect. He can keep anything like Jacob's ladder, sky manipulation, and there are random katanas scattered all over the domain, friends. So Yuta can pick up and use that. The only downside is Yuta doesn't know which technique is in that katana, so that's the only disadvantage we can tell, friends. But this is an insane domain, friends, because you have to uh, tackle the show rate effect and you have to tackle Yuta and Rika, so you will be getting jumped. So this is a really insane domain, friends, Yuta's domain. Comes to refinement, even Sukuna praised Yuta's barrier technique, friends. And one thing Yuta can do in his domain is that he can choose whom to target without touching them, friends. Even Gojo can't do that. Uh, For that reason, Yuta's domain is at number 4. At number 3, we have Kenjaku's Womb Profusion, friends. So, Kenjaku is the best barrier user after Tengen, friends. It is literally stated in the manga. So, it obviously pushes his domain to the upper echelons of the tier list or the top 10 list, we can tell. And we saw his domain against Yuki and Chozo fight, where he kind of it crushed Yuki like that. We didn't see how it works. Basically, what is sure it effect is, it basically is like a tree with full of cursed spirits and humans all that attached to the tree. So I don't know how it works, but because we didn't see how exactly it worked, but Kenjaku is the second best barrier user, and that alone can put it at number 3, friends, in my opinion. So yeah. At number 2, we have Gojo's Unlimited Void, friends, or Infinite Void for some people. So, Gojo's domain is also really insane, friends. The strongest sorcerer of this generation's domain is a really instant win conference, just like Maito's domain, and it is more refined. So, it takes basically you inside of his limitless technique, friends, where it overflows your brain with the infinite amount of information, friends. It floods your brain, so you can't even move in Gojo's domain. So that's why it's in kind of instant win conference, and it even evenly clashed with the Sukuna's domain, friends. Sukuna's malevolent shrine. So that's how good Gojo's domain is. You can't even move in his domain. It's like an instant win con, and even being there for some minute seconds can paralyze you, friends. So at number 1, we have Sukuna's Malevolent Shrine, friends. So we have the King of the Curses domain expansion at number 1, which is undoubtedly the pinnacle of Jujutsu, friends, in my opinion, because it's an open barrier domain, friends. So unlike other domains, it doesn't manifest a barrier. So it doesn't confine to a small range, friends. So Sukuna's domain has a long range, as we saw in the Shibuya incident also. So how he destroyed Mahoraga with his domain. So even if you clash equally with Sukuna's domain, it can destroy your domain from the outside, friend. So that is an advantage which Sukuna gets. So in his domain, it basically sends a endless amount of dismantles and cleaves, friends. So one is for those with cursed energy, and the second one is for those who don't have cursed energy. So heavenly restriction users also can't escape from this domain, friends. So that's how good Good, Sukna's domain is friends. So guys, that's the end of the video. So please comment down below which domain is your favorite and which do you think should rank higher or lower, etc. So if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe to my channel, friends. And thanks for watching.